Welcome back to the GSMC Hockey Podcast presented by the GSMC Sports Network. We're going to go straight into our fourth segment of the night, talking about the Utah Hockey Club and their design, as I do have their design right here on the screen for you guys. If you haven't seen already, I'm assuming that anybody that's watching this has seen this already. I'm going to just say it. This is bad. This is awful. I don't like the design whatsoever. I love the colors. And if they want to go with these colors, the Yeti, the Blizzard, they have so many options for a team, that's based out of Utah. It's bad, and I'll make the joke. This is just the Washington football team, but Utah Hockey Club is awful. It's like they're trying to make it like a soccer club or a football club, like Real Madrid FC. No, Utah Hockey Club. This is not good, and I really just, first, my thoughts here, I don't like it. But the governor of the Utah Hockey Club, when this got announced, and when it got announced yesterday, today is a monumental day for the state of Utah as we officially close on the establishment of a new NHL franchise. Ryan Smith, governor of Utah Hockey Club and chairman of Smith Entertainment Group, said the NHL has been incredible to work with throughout this process, providing us with invaluable guidance and support. We have a ton of work to do. Training camp starts in less than 100 days and could not be more excited about what's to come. I can't stand it. It's just lazy to me. Like, honestly, they came out with the poll of what surface to lead from the fans, and you have the Blizzard, which I loved. I actually really did love what you can make up from the Blizzard. I actually loved the Yeti. I thought that was very creative and very cool. But this just looks like you start a Eschel team with your buddies on NHL 24, and you just can't be asked to take your time and make it look cool. So you put together this. Really don't like it. It reminds me of the Washington football team and how awful that looked, and how the consensus was it just wasn't that great. Of course, this is not permanent. They're gonna pick a team. They just couldn't pick one within the time that they kind of needed to get going with rolling out jerseys for next season, as that is coming up, and they're going to be able to sell jerseys of these, and it's going to lead into even more jersey sales, because when they do redesign to their actual design, people are going to have these jerseys that have, Clayton Keller, who is going to be a mainstay of the Utah Hockey Club, of maybe a Lawson Krause or a Nick Schultz, or maybe a Logan Cooley, who I think is a fantastic player, and I would be so excited to have him if I were the Utah Hockey Club. But, first off, this team is in a really good hands, and we're going to talk about the team a little bit as we are talking about the Utah Hockey Club. But they don't have a single defenseman signed, and that is worrisome. I can't imagine a team without a defenseman. They have 3 RFA defensemen, of course, that they can re-sign. They have Shea Weber, who's on the LTIR, who I don't know if he medically retired yet, but I think that would be coming if he isn't yet. They also have in their system Maverick Lamoro. They have Victor Soderstrom, who might be able to produce at the NHL level come next year, but they definitely need to work on this team. They have a lot of money to do so that is good. They do have $43 million in cap space to do something, but yeah, it's not great. I think they could have honored the Coyotes by choosing a name like Yeti or whatever and done a really funky logo like the original Phoenix team. And that's what I'm saying is, like, I think that you could do something really cool with the Yeti. If I were to choose the team name, I think the Yeti is what I would go for. I think that it could also lead to, little name rivalry with the Avalanche or something like that. Of course, the proximity and playing in the Central does that as well, but I think this is the worst case scenario for them. It strikes me as lazy, just picking Utah Hockey Club first off, and I'll probably do a segment later in the summer when it gets into the off season, and I'm looking for ideas about worst jersey designs in NHL history. I actually really don't like the 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 city name across the in a diagonal across the front. Pittsburgh doing it was awful. The only one that can do it in my mind is New York, because they were really the first ones. But I think it was Tampa Bay with the lightning across the front. I can't stand. I think it was San Jose also did it. That it just doesn't look good, and I think it's just lazy. In the NHL, a lot of their jerseys are about that logo in the front, and that huge logo that takes up like half the jersey, and it strikes you as this is a hockey jersey. Having that, it's like all of the baseball jerseys that have just the city name across the front, which I love because those are baseball jerseys and that it belongs there. Before hockey, it doesn't belong, and I don't like it at all. But we'll see how it looks on the ice. I might jury's out. First off, I really do think the logo's cool with the Utah Hockey Club. I don't mind that. I think that would look really cool on the ice. I also love the colors. The color scheme, just like that light blue, the white, the black, I think is really cool. And I think that there's a lot that they can do with that. And when they do pick a team, whether it's the Blizzard, whether it's the Yeti, I think that it could be very interesting to see what that would look like. I think it could be a really cool design, and they have so much potential with it. It's just what I'm looking at right now is a little bit lazy, and if I were on the design team, I wouldn't like it personally. But the team is in really good hands, and they have a high draft pick in this draft where they could get a player like Sam Dickinson, a Tijin Ginla, a Berkeley Catton, somebody like that level, maybe a Silyev could fall into their arms. So the team's in good. The team is in good hands. The ownership clearly cares about the team. So we'll see how the product is on the ice. But in terms of the branding, I don't like it at all. I think that it was just lazy. These jerseys are bad. I'm waiting for the day. It's just advertising. It's coming. Well, I mean, yeah. First off, at least it's a little bit refreshing with the jerseys because they don't have that logo shoulder patch that every single jersey has. By the way, I have a huge problem with how the Florida Panthers have the LaCroix shoulder patch, which forces the C or the A on like Barkov, Ekblad to be like pushed aside by the Stanley Cup. I just think that that's tacky. You see it in like the Liga, the Swedish Hockey League, or like the Russian Hockey League, where the entire ice is advertisement, the entire jerseys are advertisement, and I can't stand that. And I kind of worry that that's where we're going for in the NHL because, of course, it's not as funded as the other North American sports, but we'll see what comes from that. Hopefully, we aren't going to see that someday, but that'll wrap it up for the Utah Hockey Club. We'll see what the product looks like on the ice, but for right now, I would reserve buying a jersey until next year when they figure out a team name, kind of like the Commanders of the NFL. But we'll get right into our fifth and final segment of the night. The Sharks hired a new head coach from within. We'll look at where he's come from, what he's been able to achieve as a head coach in the past, and what that organization looks like going into this offseason and going into the draft.